Fiona, bonjour.
Hello.
Hi. So why first did you come to France to study French? What was your first reason to come to France?
Well, if you're going to learn French, why not learn French in France? I mean, what's not to like? French food, French teachers, French wine, and the French language and culture. For me, it was an easy decision to come to France.
That's great. Thank you. Why come to Morzine specifically?
Well, Morzine, I searched online and I found several schools that were offered. And I actually first came in the summer for a week to check it out. And I love to hike in the mountains, and for me, the combination of learning French for a week and hiking in the mountains was fabulous. So I came back in the winter, which is even more fabulous for me because I love to ski. So the combination of skiing and French and winter in a beautiful little town, fabulous.
What were you expecting before coming here? Were you surprised by anything when you arrived?
Not really. The skiing was as advertised. The school, when I came first in the summer, was completely as advertised, and everything was just as I expected. You know, a sweet little town with beautiful little chalets, sweet little stores and grocery stores, the patisserie, of course, the boulangerie, and everything that you expect in a little French town. So, couldn't be more perfect.
Oh, lovely. What do you think this experience might be good for?
Well, certainly anybody who wants to learn French because of the quality of the school. But outside of that, mountain bikers, definitely in the summer, backpackers, hikers, parapente is big in the summer. Not that I do that, jump off mountains, but a lot of people do and they love it. But pretty much, I think, all summer activities, and in the winter activities, from skiing to snowboarding to off-piste skiing, ski de fond, all kinds of other ski options where you can put on skins and hike up mountains and ski down yourself on unpisted terrain. Lots of options for winter activities and summer activities beyond the French school.
That's true. What kind of course did you take, and would you recommend it?
The course that I took on both occasions that I was here was an afternoon course, so intensive but not incredibly intensive, which allowed me to review notes, do homework, ski, hike in the mountains in the summer. For me, it was the perfect balance of feeling like I really lived in the town and was part of the community while I was here, as well as taking French courses. So it was perfect for me.
Good. How did you find the combination of French and skiing?
For me, there's nothing more perfect than French and skiing, combined with nice restaurants and time to do homework, time to go shopping, time to do anything else that you want, take a nap, review notes. Yeah, for me, perfect, because I love both those things so much. So, perfect.
Great.
Perfect combination.
Yeah, sounds like it. What were your teachers like?
Well, I think that's really the main reason that I came back after my week in the summer, that I came back to spend several weeks during the winter. A very dynamic, well-trained bunch of people, so well prepared for every class. I can't say enough about every teacher that I've had in terms of their preparation and their effectiveness in teaching, to a bit of a range, perhaps more personality-wise than level-wise, because there are many different groups and one is assigned a group based on abilities. So very well prepared to meet the needs of a range of students. The pace of the classes has been wonderful. interesting. It's moving along without being overwhelming. And I think the teachers are able to gauge how fast one needs to move in order to satisfy the group, but not to make anyone feel like they're getting left behind. So it's been a fabulous experience in terms of the teachers.
Thank you, Fiona. What teaching methods do they use here?
I'm not sure what the methods are, but they're very effective, whatever they are, and they seem to be tailored to the group's needs at one time. My impression is that the teachers, spend a lot of time preparing, but also making materials specifically for the next class that are geared to what is going on in that class, in terms of grammar, in terms of subject matter, topics that are covered, anything that is in the news and pertinent is likely to be covered. So I think it's a very dynamic method, whatever it is, of responding to the students and their needs.
Okay, thank you. Have you been to any other learning centres, and what do you think makes Alpine French School different than another adult learning centre?
Yes, I have been to other adult learning centres, both for French and for Spanish. And I think the difference is that the staff at Alpine French are permanent. Both the administrative staff and the teachers are permanent staff. And so the focus of the school is definitely primarily to support students, their learning. It's a very interesting environment. People come from all over the world. The teachers are very interesting. And it's just a great place to learn. Additionally, I think the building itself is really caters well to bringing everybody together during break times. There's a central meeting area perhaps in the middle of the school, and then the classrooms are around that. It's a great space for learning French.
Okay. Did your accommodation fulfill your expectations?
Well, I did have choices in accommodation, and I did have an apartment that I rented, which was lovely. And then I had a bit of a mishap with a different apartment that I rented, and I ended up renting from the school in the space above the school, where there are a number of rooms and apartments, etc. And I have to say, I really liked being in the school apartments. It was very convenient, it was very cozy, it was really nice to engage with the other students from many places all over the world. And I enjoyed skiing and dining and etc., making friends with other students. So I really did like the camaraderie of being in the school accommodation.
And what's your favorite experience so far?
I think the generalization of my favorite experience would be the day you wake up, there's coffee, there are croissants, there's skiing, and it's fabulous. And then there's school. And then perhaps you all go out for dinner in the evening. What could be better?
Yeah, that's great. Final question, what tips would you give to people who want to come to Morzine?
Reserve well in advance if it's the winter season, because accommodation, the school is busy. I assume it's the busiest season of the year, the winter season, when people come to ski. So definitely reserve in advance. That includes restaurants. During busy season, you need to reserve in advance. Although when I arrived here in January, it was busy, but not busy so much with other tourists. So it does depend on the season. But I think that's probably the biggest tip I would have, is to make sure that you book in advance, well in advance, to get the accommodation and the place in the school that you would like to have for the weeks you'd like to have.
Yeah, very good tip. Merci Fiona, merci beaucoup.
De rien, Justine.